If you watched my last video, we did the minimum requirement. Now let's dive in on the medium requirement, or the recommended setting. Welcome to Respawn PC, I'm Dunk, let's dive in. From the beta test to the server slam, Blizzard update their requirement spec for the PC. So the recommended requirements become medium setting and they add up high and ultra 4K. But the spec for medium setting didn't change from the beta. So now we're looking at the Core i5-4670K or the AMD R3 1300X, 16GB of RAM, a GTX 970 or AMD Radeon RX 470. The rest is the same. The setting should be at 1080p, medium graphic settings to get 60 FPS or lock at 60 FPS, I'm not sure. The first play will be with the default setting that Diablo 4 loads when you play for the first time. I mean, everything is already set to medium. The VSync is there. I put that on a 60 Hz monitor, so I'm going to max out 60 FPS anyway on a 1080p monitor. And I'll say it's pretty much on the 60 FPS, like they announced, and extremely stable, no stuttering. I'm really happy with that result. Now let's try just high settings to see how it goes. Still at 1080p with VSync on, get the 60 FPS and get that as stable as possible. Now at high settings, it was still highly playable, 60 FPS, and I've got as low as 52 FPS. Still really stable, no stuttering. Now let's try out ultra settings. Still at 1080p with the VSync and limit the FPS at 60 FPS and see how the Diablo 4 managed to crash or not, the 970. Now I get as low as 49 FPS, but it's still quite high manageable. This is not FPS. And that aiming is about where your mouse is about, then you click. It is not a Modern Warfare or Battlefield. And from my last video on the minimum requirement, 30 FPS is highly playable for this kind of game.
I'm not ready yet.
This is the biggest drop of FPS I get at Ultra. It's a cutscene, not even a gameplay, so who cares? About 39 FPS.
Oh, it's very simple. You want to stop Lilith, and I want you to succeed. But you'll never do that by following the Horadrim.
Even when I go kill this girl's mom, I never drop under 50 FPS, still on Ultra 1080p. Now I want to the whole system. I want to revisit the GTX 660 with the Intel i5-2500K to see if there's any improvements or getting worse. Everything at low, 720p, VSync on to max out at 60 FPS and make sure get the stability over FPS. And for an advertised 30 FPS, I'm at a stable 60 FPS, sometime dropping in the mid 50s. So it's highly playable, nothing changed there. Let's try up medium 720p and see how it fare. And we get as low as the 19 FPS, 20, 30, I think that's the highest you can go with the GTX 660. I won't even try the high or ultra settings.
I'm not ready yet. Out of mana once again.
Now, if you want to see more high-end GPU, like the 1060, the 67XT 3060 Ti, the Intel Arc A770, the Nvidia 4070 Ti, or the 7900 XT, Daniel Hoven did a full test of those cards with Diablo 4 with different settings. I'll put the link of his video down in the description.
I need time to prepare
Thanks to have come watching. See you next time.